Alright, so we're going to make a granny square. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and it will measure approximately 5-ish inches. Remember, this can stretch and shrink because it is hand done, and also change based upon the thickness of your yarn, the tightness of your stitching, and your hook size. I'm using a H hook right now. And this one, I alternate colors. You can do it all in a single color. You can do each row a different color. And you actually continue on doing more and more rows and just make a giant one. You can do tiny ones. For this, I'm just going to use one color. Makes it easier for the video. And there's two ways to start. I'll show you the two different ways. So the more traditional way is you make your slip knot. And then you do four chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you go into your first chain, so the first bump, and you're going to go into it and do a slip stitch. And then I like to hold my thumb and my index finger in what is creating the loop so I don't lose it. Once you get a stitch or two in there, it's a lot easier to find them. And then you're going to chain 1, 2, 3. And then this counts as your first double crochet, and you'll see why. You can do 2 more. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets. I'm still holding that hole open. If you have smaller fingers, it's even easier. I have not small fingers. So our first little nodule is the chain 3, double crochet, and a double crochet. If I can get the camera to show, let's see, where's the flash on this thing? May not show very well. There we go. Nope, that's too bright. This is my chain 3, and then you got the double crochet and a double crochet. And that's one of my little chunks or nodules, whatever you want to call them. And as you can now see the hole better. And I don't really have to hold my finger. I still kind of hold my hands here just because that is a comfortable position for me. Then you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and this helps create, this is your corner. So your chain 2s are actually hidden in this corner underneath the pink. So you can see the blue chains is underneath the pink. And you're going to do 3 double crochets. So you can go back into your circle here. You can probably get your finger in a little bit more if you're smaller fingers. And you go 1 double crochet. And I like to do it over my tail because it helps with weaving the tails later. 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet. And so this time I had to do 3 double crochets because I didn't have that chain 3 to start. So my nodule still is 3 pieces. So it's double crochet, double crochet, double crochet, whereas this one was the chain 3, the double crochet. And that gives me 2 nodules so far. So now I need to do 2 chains, 1, 2, and then I'm going to repeat 3 double crochets. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, and then I need to create another corner, and my corners are chain 2, so 1 chain, 2 chain, and then I'm going to do 3 double crochets to finish up my last nodule. 1, 2, 3. The tail's getting a little short, so I'm just going to pop it in the back so it gets out of my way. If you have a different method, that's fine. You do whatever works for you. I chain 2. Now at this point I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need 1, 2, 3, 4. That creates my centerpiece. As you can see, this yarn is a little bit bigger, so it's going to be a little bit bigger than my center here. This is a smaller yarn here. But I need a connector here. So top of my chain 3, you need to slip stitch into it. So the other way to make a granny square is the magic circle. Not as common, but you take your end of your yarn, put it in your non-dominant hand. For me, this is my left hand. I use 2 fingers. I wrap it around once and a half, because I really don't need it wrapped twice. but I need 2 up here. Take my hook between my 2 fingers, and I grab the string farthest away, pull it through. Don't let go yet. I take my working yarn here, I grab that, and I pull it through, and then I drop it as I chain 1. And that helps get me my magic circle. So let's do that again. So my end of my yarn is in my left hand. Wrap it around. I like it a little loose. I pull the loop that's farthest away over, oops. I do this much better when I'm not thinking about it. I just do it fast. Over and under. I do this weird thing with my fingers, but either way, however you want to get it, you're taking the yarn off your ball, grabbing it through your loop, and then you do 1 single crochet, and that kind of locks your loop in. So now your magic circle looks like this. You've got a circle, and then you've got your tail. And you would start off with your chain 3, 1, 2, you had 1 to start with, so that's your first chain, and then your double crochets. And when you double crochets, you're going to go over your loop and your tail. So, grabbing my yarn that you work with, and making my double crochets. 1, 2, and make sure you're going over both the circle and the tail, and then my chain 2. You proceed around. Same thing. Let's do this real quick so you can see what you do at the end. So that's 1 side, 2 sides. And we start losing enough things, you pull this. Not so much. Because you don't want to lose the tail. You need the tail. Then you do 3 more. Lose that stitch. This is much easier when I'm not thinking about giving directions on how to do it. For some people, they don't like this at all. This may be something you don't even attempt. That's fine. The chain and make a loop is kind of the standard make a circle. That's how I always learned. I didn't learn the magic circle until a couple years ago. Didn't like it at first until there was a couple of patterns that it definitely worked better with that than it did with the chain circles. And because I'm talking, I wasn't counting. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 nodules. Alright, so that connects it over to here. Just like before. Now, your circle, oops, they lost my loop. Kind of wonky, right? So this tail, I put my tails in the back. You put yours in the front. It's okay. Is your ripcord. Let me give me some loops. See, the hook's out of the way. See the tail, the circle's bigger? Watch. See if I can get my fingers out of the way. You can see. Maybe not. Alright, I can't really pull with my fingers in the way, but I'm pulling it, and you're going to see how the circle comes out in the end. Did I pull it the wrong way? There it goes. Got a little stuck. Anyways, it got a little snagged on something, which is fine. But you pull it like a ripcord, and it sucks in your circle. So you can see there's my chain 3 circle, which will not change size. And then there's my magda circle, which is a much tighter one. And I believe it might have, no, that might have been a chain circle. I don't remember. But you definitely need to make sure you weave this in good because it is adjustable. If I were to, can't get my finger in there enough, I could open it back up. You can't do that on a chain. I know for sure it's a chain. You still have to, because I've yet to weave in the end on this one. You still have to weave in the end because it can still eventually unravel itself. But a magic circle, very much. And if you're making a hat, it definitely unravels. That's usually where you typically use the magic circle more often. But your tail is your ripcord. And usually it pulls a lot easier. I just did something funky or whatever, or it got snagged on something. And when I do my weaving ends, smooth it, I like to skip the first stitch, go back the way it came, and then come back again maybe once or twice, just so I don't have to worry about it coming out. So it depends on which look you're going for.